Hi guys, a very good evening, Masquera say, very good morning to others and a very good afternoon to others as well. So in this episode, we want to talk about heartless politicians and why they are heartless. The reason why I am using the word heartless is because of priorities, is because of what they prioritize at the expense of the people. When they want votes from the people, what they do, their actions to the people, as compared to what needs to be really done when somebody wants to occupy a office in politics. So let's look at at the issue of regalia. This is the specific issue which I need to dwell on, which I need to focus on. You cannot use regalia for you to get votes in the nation of Zimbabwe or anywhere. We have seen politicians using regalia times without numbers. Let's look at ZANU-PF as an example. ZANU-PF buys regalia for at least 5 million t-shirts each and every election. They buy at least 5 million t-shirts. So I was looking at the 2018 elections. Households had 4, 5, 6, 7 t-shirts of ZANU-PF. And the cost of production of that t-shirt is $7 and above. It's not less than $7, the cost of production of each t-shirt. So let's say ZANU-PF has bought 5 million t-shirts minimum, 5 million t-shirts minimum, 5 million caps minimum, 5 million scarves minimum. Let's just work with these 3 items. Scarves, we cannot forget DOEX and Zambias. So we have t-shirts, we have caps, we have scarves, we have DOEX, we have Zambias. And at 5 million each, it means these 5 things by 5, these are 25 million items. Let's just say the minimum price or the average price of those things is at $5. The average price. If we are to put the average at $5, and if we are to calculate, you are going to actually see that it's 25 million. 25 million. Let's do the math here. 25 million multiplied by $5, that is 125 million used for just regalia. Minimum 125 United States dollars just used for the regalia. Regalia only, right? My point here, this reason why I say politicians are heartless is because they are willing to take 525 million US dollars to put it into an election. They are willing to do that. They are willing to take 125 million for regalia only. Mazambia, ma t-shirt, ma duku, ma kepes, cover. And they will go and distribute to various people. The people they are distributing to are the people without hospitals, are the people without clinics, are the people without bridges, are the people without schools. So my question is, why can't politicians use that money to do meaningful things? Why are politicians not willing to go and take that 125 million? You divide it by 10. 125 million, you divide it by 10. That is 12.5 million. 12.5 million. And you put 12.5 million in each and every province for the sake of hospitals. If you put 12.5 million at every hospital, at every general hospital or provincial hospital, to say Masvingo provincial hospital, you go to Matebeleland South, you put at the provincial hospital there, 12.5 million at each and every hospital. How many machines are you going to buy for those hospitals? How many lives are you going to save just because you have bought machines and you have equipped those hospitals, those provincial hospitals? This is a simple question. Why are our politicians not willing to take that money they are buying regalia with and go and capacitate hospitals and go and capacitate schools? We have kids who are going to school without uniforms. We have kids who are going to school where there are no textbooks. We have kids who are going to school where there are no desks to write on. Yet 125 million plus is splashed every 5 years. Every 5 years, they use more than 125 million for regalia only. Why at least we have kids without uniforms, we have schools without textbooks, schools without infrastructure, schools without meaningful furniture? That is a sign of heartless people. They don't think about that. Why? Because their kids are living in Spain, are living in Australia, are living in China, are living in Singapore, are living in South Africa and Malaysia, where the health facilities there are proper. Here, we have improper health facilities, school facilities, and so forth. And who does attend those schools? These are our kids. That is a fact. So my message to the people of Zimbabwe is to say, we need to deal with the issue of regalia. We need to deal with the issue of tumadongi, tumachira twatakaona vana Mnangagwa vachipa vanhu. Mnangagwa akaenda netumadongi tumwe tumachira so. Kajira kasingatombodziye. And they were giving people. They went with my buckets, giving people to my buckets, to my buckets, to my bucket, to my bucket. That is a sign of heartless politicians. That is a true testimony of heartless politicians who only care about power, not empowering. Why do they do that? They know that if they empower people, people will begin to vote according to service delivery, not according to gifts and regalia. So they don't want to capacitate people because they know very well that if they are to capacitate schools, they're going to have a different generation of young people who are going to be robust in terms of how they approach things. Yes, that is the reason why they keep on buying regalia every year. Every 5 years they buy. Look at Emerson Mnangagwa's party, ZANU-PF. They have been printing new regalia each and every time. Each and every time they have new regalia. Each and every time they have new regalia. Each and every time they have new regalia. Kwa kune ma-t-shirt yellow, kune red, kune green, kune black, ameno makala mangani. And everybody, unoona munhu ane 2 ma-t-shirt, ane 3 ma-t-shirt, ane 4 ma-t-shirt, but vana vari kuenda vachinodzidza vakagara pasi. How heartless are our politicians? So this issue is not only happening in the ruling party, it is happening across the board. I'm one of the people who hate regalia. I'm one of the people who say, I cannot have regalia whilst a child at my school does not have a uniform. How much does a uniform cost for a kid at my school? In my case, a school uniform or primary school uniform for a kid at my school, inoita $4 kumbari. Uniform yemwana wechikoro pachikoro pangu inini inoita $4 kumbari. T-shirt yeZANU-PF yavagadzirisa iri kuita mari. They are producing it on an average cost of $7. T-shirt. So when you are to buy in bulk, uniform iri kuita $4 kumbari. When you are to buy that those uniforms in bulk, vanhu ivavo vanodzikisa ma-prices. They begin to use wholesale prices. It means T-shirt one $7 can buy 2 uniforms. 2 uniforms. And we will have kids who are represented, who are in uniform at school. So you can actually see that kugadzira bench, desk chairo desk rekuendesa mwana kuchikoro, desk kurigadzirisa, simbi iri kuita mari 6 meters yesimbi. That is the question. 6 meters simbi angle iron is less than $10. And that angle iron is 6 meters. Inokwanisa kuti kugadzira a desk, a frame redesk. $10 inokwana kugadzira kutenga simbi the frame. Board rakareba iro 2.7 meters. Is 2.7 meters by 2.1. I'm not so sure about the actual measurements, but it should be 2.8 by 1.8. Yes, it's 1.8 by 2.8, if I'm not mistaken about the actual measurements. If you are to divide that, panoguda how many madeski anogarwa nevana? How many? So you can actually see that we have how much is that board? Renovate around $50. That cheap board, around $50. So you can actually see that the cost desk is much better kuti tikabatanza ma-t-shirt ari pamba pevanhu pamusha wega wega akapiwa vanhu neZANU-PF. Those t-shirts can actually go to nogadzira madeski evana, because we are talking about vanhu vari willing to go and do their own thing. Myself, I can volunteer to go and weld a desk or to weld my desk for the kids. I can volunteer. How much is a welding machine? A small welding machine. It's around $100. And how much is a generator? How much is a generator? So when we are talking about a constituency, we are talking about a generator, one generator. Nevanu vangori kana 2 or 3 people were kwenda kuno welder. And a single car. Inotika enda pachikoro apa yono welder madesk yo, bayonda pachikoro apa yono welder madesk yo, bayonda apa yono welder madesk. Then we go to an election, vana vachidzidza vakagara pamadesk. How much is a photocopying machine? How much is a photocopying machine? Why is the government not willing to buy ZANU-PF? Why are they not, or political parties, why are they not willing to buy my printer or my photocopiers? They go and print my textbook, binder. You print my textbooks, binder. You print my textbooks, binder. You go with those textbooks to kids. Why? Why are they not willing to do that? Print textbooks, go with the textbooks to the kids, give textbooks to kids. Because bond paper, Riaria, how much is bond paper? It's $3. A rim in a 500 sheets. 500 sheets, the bond paper, it's $3. $3. If you are to buy it at wholesale, it goes down, the price goes down. So, kana book one, revana vechikoro vari kuprimary rine 100 pages or richida 100 sheets. It means when you buy one bond paper, rine 500 sheets, you are going to produce 5 books from one rim, 5 textbooks from one rim. And if you go to a printer, ukaenda pane maprinter ariko zvinhu anoshandisa powder. That powder, I used to buy that powder whenever I provide my textbooks for the kids. I used to buy that powder. That powder ndaitenga around $3 chipacket chakadai so. And that packet can print my books around 200, 300 my books. One packet for $3. Ye powdered ink so. So you can actually see that we have people who are not serious. We have people who are not looking at developing people. Because you can actually see kuti Maria t-shirt one is $7. Urkwenda unotenga rim mangani 3-6, you are going to buy 2 rim, a bond paper. 2 t-shirts or 3 t-shirts. How many are you going to buy? So you can actually see that 3 t-shirts dzinokwana kutenga marimu hobo plus ingi yacho. How many textbooks are you going to distribute to the kids at a school using Maria t-shirt 1? And the question is, why is it that the politicians prioritize my t-shirt? Asinga develop a nation at the expense of things which assist our kids to pass examinations. It's because they want our kids to continue to be backward. So when they get in government, they don't build schools. When they campaign, they don't build schools. When they get in government, they don't buy textbooks. When they are in power, they don't buy textbooks. When they are campaigning, they don't buy textbooks. The only man who managed to bring textbook at every school was David Coulthard. He tried his best. David Coulthard, during the GNU, tried to make sure that there was a textbook per child. He tried his best. Although those textbooks were manipulated in some areas and they failed to get to every rural school. They were manipulated by some people. I don't know what they did with those textbooks because some schools in the remote areas, rural schools, had no textbooks. And some of them, you could actually see that students were sharing one textbook per 10 vana or per 20 vana. At a certain point, this is patakanyora form 4. Takarwira textbook 1 recommerce. Fight textbook 1. Muskana katora textbook akarisa mbrugwa. Akarisa mbrugwa make. What I witnessed with my eyes, tirima form 4. Textbook recommerce. Muskana katora textbook akarisa mbrugwa make. To an extent yekuti vanhu vakamanikidzira kutora textbook iroro kusvika vanhu vatiza netextbook. To an extent yekuti vanhu vakazodecide kuti ngatichiendai tinostarta tese mugomo. Vakaenda a whole stream yakanga ichinyora for commerce. Ikaenda vakanostarta one textbook vari pagomo. Vachibvunzana vachiita sei one textbook. Because there were no textbooks at that school. That happened. So we are saying, why is it that the politicians always measure the minor and we don't hold them accountable? Why? Why Zimbabweans? Why are we continuously being harassed by these people? Because when you are buying me a t-shirt, you are harassing me. Why? You want my child to continue learning at a poor school. Instead of you buying textbooks and buying school furniture, you are buying me a t-shirt. That is an insult to me. That is a harassment to me. I'm telling the truth. I am telling the truth. I am really I don't take me to school. These are things which make us to relocate to our areas, to be productive in our rural areas. Because if I think about going to my rural area and to go and live in my rural area completely, the first thing is to say, where is my child going to attend school? That is the first thing which comes to my mind. Where is my child going to attend school? And I don't believe that that school where there is no at that school. Vana vanodzidza grade 7, grade 6, grade 5, same classroom. Vana vagodzidza grade 4, grade 3. So ECD ndo iri kwaiga. Vana inini zvinhu zvandakati 7 akatarisa uko, same classroom. In fact, the setup is grade 5, grade 6 and grade 7. Vakatarisa their own sides. Vachidzidziswa na teacher 1. Teacher 1 ari kudzidzisa ma grade 6, ari kudzidzisa ma grade 7. Vakatarisa their own sides. Kumashure kwangu ndo kune ma grade 6 ne ma grade 7. kumberi kwangu ndo kune grade 5 grade 4. This is happening at my rural school. My rural school, that is happening. Grade 6 and 7 behind me, grade 5 and 4 kumberi kwangu. The rest vari kudzidzira kuklasi yavo vega. That is happening because pachikoro ipapo pane block 1. Block 1 rakadai so ndo riripo 1 block rine 2 maclassrooms. So pwere dzese dzinoenda kuseri uko ndokwadzechidzidzira ava vahombe ava grade 4 to 7 klasi yavo vega vachidzidziswa nematicha 2. This is something which I witnessed and it pains me. And the politicians are not taking steps to make sure that they develop schools instead of buying t-shirts and giving us cup here rice, cup here rice. And the question is, as citizens, what are we doing? As a people, what are we doing? How are we holding this government and these politicians to account? Both of them, they are complicit to this. Both of them, they think about a regalia more than they think about anything else. Unongonzwa kuti yanga iri green chete chete, yanga iri yellow chete chete, yanga iri chi. Why? It's because they think more about regalia more than they think about development. They think more about power more than they think about development. When you develop people, you build a community which is indomitable. But when you give people regalia, you destroy people. In this nation of Zimbabwe, it pains me. And they are heartless. I have come to a conclusion to say, these people are heartless. My call to the people, to the leadership of CCC, is to say, don't buy regalia. If you want to represent the people truthfully, do not buy regalia. Don't buy regalia. I have seen several regalia being printed. Fundraising. Why can't you print my textbooks and sell to your members, to your supporters, to say, guys, isisu tinema textbooks ata printer. Can you buy my textbooks? Aya, tichita fundraising zedu. Why can't you do that? I am willing to go and purchase a textbook ragadzirwa neCCC. I am willing to go and purchase my textbook ragadzirwa neCCC tichimaendesa kuvana. I'm willing to do that. I am willing to fundraise money for the purchase of textbooks and uniforms for the kids. I am willing to do a fundraising kuenda kuti tinowelda madeski evana. Ngatirwisane neZANU-PF. Tichitatarisana neZANU-PF, tichiendesana kumakoti neZANU-PF. Ichiramba kuti tiendese madeski pazvikoro zvevana. Ichiramba kuti tiendese matextbooks pazvikoro zvevana. Let us have that fight neZANU-PF. Muone kuti vabereki vanoreacta sei. You will see the different kind of parents if we go izvezvizvi kuchikoro chekumusha kwangu inini chisina matextbooks, chisina furniture, chisina anything. If we go with furniture, if we go with textbooks today, tikaenda tichinopa vana, if ZANU-PF tries to stop us, vabereki vanotijoina in that struggle. Honestly, vanotijoina. Why? They know very well that their kids must have a proper education. Their kids must have textbooks. Their kids must have uniforms. So as politicians, as individuals, as people who want change, we need to begin to look at this issue critically. We need to begin to address this issue critically. Because if we don't address it, we are going to have a doomed generation. If CCC wants to win, to have a whitewash in 2023, if you are serious about having a whitewash in 2023 as CCC, do one thing. Buy my printer, buy bond paper, buy my ink, and begin to print my textbooks. Begin to distribute my textbooks to Kuzkoro. You begin to give the ZANU-PF sleepless nights because they don't want our kids to be educated as their own kids. So if the CCC can be serious about winning the elections in 2023, stop buying regalia. hazvina zvazvinobatsira kuti tiende tonoti yellow. Yellow is just a color. But let me tell you this. What matters most in the rural areas is something which is tangible. And I in my textbooks, muno replace a regalia. And I muno ona zvinhu zvandiri kutaura izvi. Muno replace a regalia in my textbooks. And you will see what is going to happen. There is a video which I saw where young kids, I want to play that video before I end this program so that you hear what young kids really want, what young kids are really looking for. Let me try to find this so that I play it for you, so that you hear the reason why I have come with this issue and I'm speaking this issue like this. I need you to hear and understand. So please listen carefully.
Mnangagwa apa taitoda Chamisa Mnangagwa ijipe ameno wakushanda isaura hapana mazepe 50 cents
kuchikoro munoenda mazhe munoenda nei kuchikoro kulai saka manje mota.
So you have heard these kids speaking. From these kids, these are young kids who are around grade 3, grade 4. If you hear them speaking, you can actually see that these are young kids with potential to influence their own parents. Just imagine you have brought textbooks, you have brought uniforms, you have brought my desk for these kids. These are the kids who are going to go home and tell their parents voterai change. These are the young kids who are going to influence the elections. They don't vote, but they can influence elections because they are actually saying, which means these are the kids who are even willing to go an extra mile to vote. If they are given an opportunity, they will go and vote for change. So just imagine if you give them an opportunity, a tangible opportunity of having what is going to happen? So this is simple, Team Zimbabwe. This is simple. This is simple. Let's begin to buy my textbook. Let's print my textbooks. Let's print my uniform evana vechikoro. Inini I want to see vana vechikoro vari kupo kuma polytechnics taking the challenge yekusona my uniform. I need to see team riku diaspora taking the challenge yekutenga ma machines, ma sewing machines, muchitumira kuno kuma old sewing machines muchitumira ku Zimbabwe for the students at polytechnics. Votanga kusona ma school uniforms, vapana vari kuita fashion vai vatange kusonera vana ma school uniforms. Why am I saying so? It's because we all want change. The kids, the guys, the young girls and boys at polytechnics, they want change. They are demanding change. So if they are to unite and say, guys, ngatisone my uniform pa ma polytechnics. Imimi wamana chitenga micheka, tenga micheka, vanhu vota miteme kutenga micheka ya ma uniforms. Vana votanga kusonerwa ma uniforms ne team redu riri kudzidza fashion and fabrics pa polytechnics. So you can actually see that we are lacking people who can organize in politics to make sure that we win this election. We are lacking those people. We need the people who are ready to go and organize meaningful things. Students must not be organized to do protests. Students must be organized to do productive things. That is to make sure that vari kusona ma uniform achidistributwa muma schools, vari kutiprindira ma textbooks achidistributwa muma schools, vari kuti weldira tine vapfana vari kuita welding vanosapota change, Why can't they help us kuweuda maningi madesk, kuweuda chairs and so forth? Vamwe vachiita basa rekutenga masimbi ari kudiwa nemapuranga ari kudiwa. Then we go and distribute those things in schools. Tichipa makansela, shadow kansela wedu, oenda unodistributa machairs, madesk, matextbooks, machi. When we go to 2023, tiri kuenda vana vachiziva kuti shadow kansela wedu ndiningi, MP wedu ndiningi, president wedu ndiningi, vakatiitirei, vakauya nematextbooks, vakauya nemadesk, vakauya nemaschool uniforms. So you are wasting resources muchiita regalia and so forth. Instead of wasting resources, tichigadzira zvinhu zvinobenefita vana. You know what? Even if to say ndaluza election, but ndakapa vana matextbooks, ndakapa vana regalia, uniforms and madesk, handirwadziwi, because ndozati for the next 5 years vana ivavo vanenge vachidzidza vakagara pamadesk. I know kuti vana ivavo pavachasvika 18, these are the young people who are going to say we need change. This is the way to do it. These are the young kids who are going to influence the elections going forward. So, Team Zimbabwe, gatimukei, gatipepukei. This is the time I will continue to bring this matter because our politicians are heartless. Our politicians are useless. Our politicians think of their kids. Why do I say so? The majority of the people in politics, their kids attend A schools. Their kids are doing good, are doing well in life. But who is suffering? Our kids are suffering. Who is suffering? Our brothers' kids in the village are suffering. Myself, I'm made to come here because if I go to the rural area, everybody in the village, ukatarisa vana vachienda kuchikoro vanopfuura nepamba pangu inini vachienda kuchikoro, it pains me to kuvaona vachiti ta vasina boots, vasina mauniforms, vasina matextbooks, vasina mabag, vakaisa maningi mubepa rehupfu. This is what I experienced. Takaenda kuchikoro sina boots, takaisa mabhuku mubepa rehupfu, traveling 18 kilometers to school. 18 kilometers to school. Muchishandisa textbook 100 comments. And that the same is happening to the kids in my area. And the question is, are these kids writing the different examination wrote by the kids at an A school in Harare? No. Who is influencing the policies at the universities? Because in Ndrukutaura is this thing, amana. Tarachokwadi. What pains me is there are kids vaiva pachikoro pavandaitoziva kuti omana kana pari panyaya dzechikoro timu iri rinorova chikoro, vanga vari pamberi pedu vairova chikoro zvikuru zvezvi. Where are they right now? Vari kutenderera mumaruzevha. Why? Vakanyora ndokubva vaita mad, ndokubva vaita 1C kana 2 C, ndobva varova mad nechichi. So to those vasina kuzoita shungu nekuramba uchinyorera kunyora ka2 ka3 ka4, to those vasinaita shungu yekunyora kakawanda, where are they? The majority of them, they are still in the rural areas, vane ma2 subjects avo, but vaigona chikoro. Is the University of Zimbabwe and the A school, A-level schools, are they going to consider those kids? No. Why? The entry test at University of Zimbabwe, they will tell you, unofana upinda ne 15 points. Unofana upinda ne 13, 14, 15 points for you to get a place by University of Zimbabwe. Go to my A schools for A-level. They will tell you that you cannot study my sciences. Why? Because wakangoita integrated science chat. So we cannot give you a biology, a physics, a chemistry. You are supposed to do it at O level. That is what is happening. So our kids cannot be doctors. Our kids cannot be lawyers. Our kids cannot be engineers. They cannot do anything meaningful. Even if they are to do my courses, and I'm not as a team, rikumisha kwangu inini rakawanda, ma teacher. Ma teacher ega. They can't be nurses because vane ma 3-4 sittings. Not because vanga vasinga gone, but because vanga vasina ma resources. I don't know how the marking is done. I don't know. Munanga chigona chikoro umunona auya ane madi. but ndiye munhu wamamuchiti anogona chikoro kwacho auya ane mad. So you can actually say that the selection criteria is favored for only the rich, the elite. When are the poor people going to get chances in this nation? Where are the poor people going to have opportunities in this country? We have to demand those opportunities. We have to demand those opportunities from the politicians, because these are the people who want to lead this country. These are the people in politics who want to lead this country. They must lead this country by example. They must come and be exemplary to the people. To say, kana tapinda, tinoda kuzvigadzirisa chakadai. Don't say we don't have resources. That money you are buying regalia nayo, tangai kutenga ma textbook nas, chizoona kuti kana mapinda you will be able to buy textbooks. That money you are using to buy regalia, tangai kugadzira ma desk nas, mutangai kumobilize vanhu kuti vagadzire madesk. Seek for volunteers. There are people who are volunteering inini. I can even volunteer. I'm a welder by profession. I can volunteer inini kuenda kuno welder madesk ekuti vana vaende kunodzidza vakagara. We have not seen our politicians mobilizing for that. We have not seen politicians mobilizing carpenters to say tiri kuda macarpenter, tiri kuda mabirida, vari kuvolunteer. Inini, I'm a plasterer, I'm a welder, I'm a carpenter, I'm a tiler. I know mabasa emaoko almost every ningi basa emaoko. The majority of mabasa emaoko, I know them. Kwete kuti hanzi zvekufungidzira, I do it perfectly. Why? It's because it's something chandaiva ne passion nacho. So you cannot tell me we have people who are willing to volunteer their time and resources without getting paid. But where are our politicians? What are their policy documents? Their policy documents are based on promises. They're based on promises, not action, real action on the ground. We need the politicians who are going to challenge the status quo. Politicians who are going to bring tangible solutions to the problems of the people. We need to see politicians vari kutaura kuti alright, let's donate mari yekuti titenge mushini wekudrilla bore. Izvezvi CCC ikatanga kuita a program yekuti ngatiunganidzei mari titenge mushini wekudrilla maboreholes. Tiende kuma villages tinodrilla maboreholes, vanhu vatange kuwana mvura. Tiende pazvikoro zvisina maboreholes, vanhu vana vatange kuwana mvura. Why can't we donate to buy a drilling machine ye borehole? Itange kudrilla izvezvi. How many days do we have to an election? Today it's 24 July. So kusvika pana 24 July next year, those are 365 days. 365 days. It means we can drill 365 bores if we are serious. Yes, we can do it. Because I have seen motikari yemabore inongouya nhasi yotodrilla votonzi vapedza vaenda. Even if we were to do half, considering traveling time from one constituency to another. What more if we buy 2-3 drilling machines, bore drilling machines, old, second-hand bore drilling machines. Tikatenga 3-4-5. If we are to have a target 10 second-hand bore drilling machines, how many bores are we going to drill for the rural people vasina mvura right now? And do you think those people are going to vote for ZANU-PF? Why can't we flood the courts fighting ZANU-PF in terms of tauya tida kudrilla chiborani pano, ZANU-PF iri kutirambidza? And this is our demand, is that ZANU-PF ngaitisira vanhu ivavo chiborani. Why can't we do that? Why can't we have court cases akadaro? We have plenty lawyers in the politics of CCC. We need to see those lawyers going to court in and out, vachienda kunorwira nyaya dzekuti kune community isina mvura pakati, jaji handei munoona We need lawyers who can demand kuti judge handei mumbonoona situation iri panzvimbo. We need such people who are brave enough to call my judge kuti handei munoona. We need people who are brave enough to deal with these situations. Musingatye without fear. There is no need to go and consult ZANU-PF kuti munodrilla bore. ZANU-PF iri kufamba nema drilling ningi akanzi ED chakadaro. Why can't we have ega nefesi ya Chamisa? Tichienda tichinodrillira vanhu mabore. ZANU-PF is doing it for face powder politics. Why can't we do it for real politics and real empowerment of our people? There are people who are failing to have projects because where they live there is no water. So isikaenda tikanosolva that crisis iyoyoyo. Tatotanga ma projects. Let's not do it for one person. Tobatawana mbiri nechichi. Don't do it for me. Do it for the people in the rural areas. Do it for the people who are struggling in the rural areas. Myself, I can take my kid to a better school. I can take my kids to a better school. But there are people who can't take their kids to better schools. There are kids who are failing to send their kids to better schools. People who are failing to make sure that their kids attend better schools. So, if I can't relocate to my rural area because there is no school, why can't we unite as a people and make sure that we capacitate those schools? I have made an oath and said, I will need to work hard to make sure that kids at my school, they have textbooks, they have desks to sit on, they have uniforms, they have school fees paid. I don't want to see any kid being fired or being chased away from school. Where are the politicians? It's because they are heartless. It's because their kids are attending nice schools. It's because their kids are passing with flying colors. It's because their kids are attending whatever they need. They are driving nice cars. Where are our kids? Because if I look at my kids only, what about my brothers in the rural areas? What about my relatives in the rural areas? What is happening to their kids? What about the kids of my neighbors? Tomorrow I will begin to go to the police and report the kids of my neighbors saying they are vandalizing my property. Why? Because I failed them. As an individual, I failed them. I was supposed to make sure that they go to school. I was supposed to make sure that they pass. I was supposed to make sure that they go to tertiary institutions, they have skills, they do their own things, they empower other people. I have not seen politicians who are saying, inini ndineva na 100, vandaka empower, kuti vago empower over na 10 each. I have not seen any politician doing that. I look forward to see politicians signing contracts with kids to go. You go at a certain school and sign contracts with kids to say, guys, I am going to sponsor your education. I'm going to make sure that you have a job. But once I do that, I need you to send other kids to school. Let's sign a contract. I have not seen politicians doing that. I have not. This is the culture we want to see. Where we are going to say, we don't have resources, yes. Let us take 10 kids to school from our areas. And those 10 kids, we will take 10 kids to school. Those 10 kids will take another 10 kids to school. We set an example in our communities. That is what we need to do. Why are we not doing it? Why are we always creating controversies, political controversies everywhere? Buying regalia, buying all sorts of things, useless things, because we are greedy, because we are heartless, because we are actually witches. That is the honest truth. We are actually witches because only a witch wants to see the success of his or her own children. If you are not a witch, if you are not a wizard, you will want to see everybody progressing. But because you are witches, because you are wizards, you don't want to see other people progressing. I will not take back these words. Even if everybody rebukes me, I will continue to say these words because it pains me to see people coming with politics, but nothing being done. It pains me to see people paying money for regalia. Moita mbiri yema regalia. Mbiri yema regalia. Whilst vana kuma rural areas vari kutambura. So, honestly speaking, let's make sure that we do it for our kids. We do it for our friends and relatives in the rural areas. If you have made it to town, munoza kudhara kukutara chokwadi. Inini ndakakurira kumusha, ndaizviona inini. What happened ndezvekuti kune munhu one aitanga kuenda kuSouth Africa. Munhu iyeye aiuya agotora vanhu 10, 20 kuenda navo kuSouth Africa. Vagotorana. That's how our people flooded South Africa. Why are our politicians not willing to do that? Kuti unoenda wonotora vanhu 2, 3 wovaburitsa in the situation wouya navo, woenda unotora vamwe wovaburitsa wouya navo, woenda unotora vamwe, and umwe noumwe otora wake, umwe achitora wake kusvika tadevelop our communities. Why can't we do that? It's because the leadership is willing to come nekapu rice, is willing to come ne t-shirt, nema bandana, nema Zambia. That is nonsense. We need change in this nation of Zimbabwe. It begins by politicians changing their mindsets, because we cannot guarantee, what guarantee do you have that when you get into power, you are going to develop your people when you can't print my textbooks? You can't print my textbooks. I have given this example in Ndirwadza kuti bond paper, rimwe bond paper, inoita iyo $3. At wholesale inoita $2.50. Ink inoprinda mabhuku 20, 30 unoitenga at $5. Kana yatodhurisisa at $5. So as a politician, why can't you just buy a printer? Wouya ne printer yako, be it a color printer, because we have money my pictures, my color pictures and so forth. Just buy a color printer. You bring it. Wotanga kuprindira vana ma textbooks. Prindira vana ma textbooks. Wenda nawo instead kwenda ne wakabata wakagukuchira regalia and so forth. We don't need all that. We need these meaningful things. We need meaningful things. Let's do it as citizens. Let's begin to push for that. Let's begin to prioritize our own people. Let's begin to think about our own people. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for the contributions. I'm going to take a few comments here before I call it quits because it's late. No such gonera. And the well said, Mkoma, that's the best way of upgrading our areas. Lindiwe Masamba, we need you and your ideas. Vote for Ms. Makusha. Let's mobilize, guys. Well said. I don't know, Lindiwe, if I'm willing to, if I'm willing at this moment to actually go and stand. Maybe as a councillor or as an MP. I don't think if I'm ready right now. I believe that I need to speak more than going actually to represent. I believe that at this moment I need to speak. But if the people from my area decides that I should represent them, I will represent them without any form of doubt. So, Anzi, your points are very strong, my brother. We are each other's keeper. Let's make sure our neighbors' kids are well, and let's advocate for these politicians to do the right thing. Yes, that's true. Matamanda Beatrice Koko, money and power. Yes, money and power, inokonzeresa kuti vanhu vave selfish, vave greedy. Thomas Chawira, they send their kids to study overseas. When they come back, they will be bosses of our uneducated kids. Yes, so they want our kids to remain at the bottom. While still vachingoti commander, ndo vanenge vachipanana maportfolios ikoko. And I'm not kuti vana vavo ndo vakazadza zvigaro zvese muhurumende. That's hogwash. We have a mandate to change that thing. We are going to challenge that, and we are going to make sure that we change that. We no longer need politicians who just come kuzotaura without action on the ground. You need to present zvinhu zviri tangible, zvinhu zvinooneka. So some people will come and say, hey, kokana mnasina mari yacho achazoita sei, ye regalia munoiwana kupi? Yamunogadzira ma-t-shirt muri kuiwana kupi? Where are you getting that money? Bring that money emaregalia yoyo. Buy zvinhu zvinoita kuti, but it's an issue of ideas. It's not that you don't have resources. Resources are there, but you don't have ideas. And you don't want to work with anybody with ideas because you want to protect Zigaro. Nobody will accept you because of, if you go and say, guys, let's do this, nobody will ever accept you or even share this message. What I'm saying right now, many politicians will make sure that they avoid this message because they don't want to hear it. They don't want to see you anywhere close to them. They don't want. So they will make sure that you remain far, far away from anywhere close to power. Because what they want is to make sure that they live in power for long. And it's difficult. Kuti vanhu chaivo vari kumusha vese vakasvinura vese so hakusina ane nzara. You know, I always say hakuna munhu ari kuda chikafu, munhu wese akaguta. Hakuna munhu ari kuda zvimwe zvinhu zviri basic. Vanhu vane mauniforms, vana vari kuenda kuzvikoro vari kuita sei. And you come uchiti tocha wakabata kapi eraisi uchiti ndigoterei. People will say, shamwari, zvinhu zvauri kutaura tinazvo kudhara. Can you tell us zvimwe zviri nani? That is the reason why they don't want to develop people. They know that once you develop people, their demands begin to upgrade. So when you upgrade people, their demands also are upgraded. They begin to have new demands. That is the truth. Buy me a helicopter today. Tomorrow I will say I will now need a private jet. Buy me a private jet, I will say I will need a bigger private jet. I will need the latest private jet. Why? It's because people are never satisfied. They need, when they get something, they need something which is better. Yes, but because we have people who skipped basic lessons of economics, that is the reason why we have such people. And Lord Bailey, ZANU-PF must just go. That's the only way forward. Otherwise, yes, for us to remove ZANU-PF, Lord Bailey, for next year, for us to remove ZANU-PF, let's go and offer something which is different. Let's go to the rural areas with something which is different. I want to give you an example. Chipinge, we won in Chipinge, that is a rural area. We won in Chipinge. But look at the margin. These are the margin which can be manipulated easily. We need to have a situation where this is a no-go area. The reason why my war veterans they are still brainwashed is because we have not done anything different. That is the reason why they are still being used to beat us. It's because we have not done anything different. So when you do something differently, you earn respect. When you earn respect in your area, what is going to happen is that people are going to view your ideas and view you differently. They take you differently. Whatever you do, they are taking it and looking at it with a different eye. So when you earn respect munzvimbo maunogara, hakuna munhu anokurova. Vanhu vanotokudefenda, even if we were opposition, people will defend you because you have earned the respect. They need you. They want you. They will defend you. That's it. So, Team Zimbabwe, I don't want to take it longer than this. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for the contributions. The reason why I am angry is because our politicians are taking us for granted. Our politicians are heartless. They are evil. They only want to benefit. They only want to remain at the top. While the gap between the rich and the poor is widening. We need to close that gap. We don't need to feel there is a reasonable difference between vanhu vane mari nevasina. We need to fill that gap. That is our agenda. That is our mission. And as young people, as long we live in this country, as long as we are alive, we are going to pursue this. We are going to pursue this. We are going to pursue freedom in the nation of Zimbabwe. And freedom must come with ideas, not kuti une mbiri. Mbiri echi. We need ideas. Ideas build nations. Ideas develop nations. Ideas grow nations. And that is it. But with this kind of crop of politicians, they are willing to pay all sorts of money to Varakashis so that they stay in power for much longer, while we suffer with our own children. And we should leave this duty in the hands of Nelson Chamisa and CCC. We all have a role to play in building the new Zimbabwe. I agree. And I hope that if they are serious, they are going to make sure that they do meaningful things. Okay, Thomas Chawira, they are campaigning for Chiwenga to be president. What exactly Chiwenga will offer to us? Chanoda kuita kutenda Chinese akamrapa nima minds educated. Yes. So we need to go for an election in 2023. We must not miss that election. And we wish to go with this man. That is our wish. But before we go to the election, let's go and do meaningful things. So if you support change, if you need change, tanga kugadzira ma textbook uchinopa vana kunzvimbo kwako, tanga kugadzira ma uniforms uchinopa vana kumusha kwako, uchiwaudza kuti ma textbook aya ma uniform aya voterai change. Mukangovotera change zvinouya zvakawanda, and they've seen your potential and your capacity. And unoziva kuti ma textbook 10 avanaka, I am telling you things which I experienced myself. 10 ma textbooks unoenda mbiri yekuita sekuti waunza rori yakazara ma textbooks. 10 ma uniforms 5 vasikana 5 vakomana unoenda mbiri kuita sekuti nge waunza rori yema uniforms. It's only little things which matters to the people. What they want is commitment. Paying school fees for 3, 4, 5 kids. Vanokutaura as if you were badara chikoro chese. Unotaurwa kwese kwese. Because you have shown commitment from the little you have. Just show compassion. Just support your own people. Do it. There is nothing which is going to stop you except yourself. So, Team Zimbabwe, we need change. Let's put our hands on the ground to tanga kuitaba. Then change comes in 2023. So, I love you all. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for your support and your contributions on this platform. Mwari kana vachimutsa tiri vapenyu.